And he would have to give me an additional quote on labor to install on another machine, which he will. It's not a problem. It's just with the other bid on the Polaris and the John Deere, none of that fits. We'd have to come up with a complete new configuration.
Roger, you're probably the most well versed here on this stuff, so.
Just seems like a high dollar 60-gallon sprayer.
Yes, it is. But
I know they got a lot of other stuff on there that I've got a 60-gallon on mine, and I've got it in a John Deere Gator.
okay. Well, I can get other bids
So,
for
I mean,
spray
I
systems.
don't know. They say that the Gator won't handle a 60-gallon sprayer.
They're worried about the suspension on it. It is a rigid suspension, has no spring. Well, that springs.
And there's probably a difference between
In width.
yours is more commercial than
Yes.
yours would be.
I do a lot of.
The Yamaha, I don't think that's a commercial. It's just Yamaha.
Yes, and then to get it up to the commercial grade, you see the heavy duty springs that he's going to add to the back, so it'll hold 1,000 pounds of cargo.
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that you probably don't use yours as much as this one.
No,
makes
I
probably
wouldn't. I
use.
mean,
So it,
And I have no problem with the Polaris. I don't. It's the V-belt system in it, Roger. I believe you may have a Ranger. Does it have a jerky
no,
start
I
stop?
got a John Deere Gator.
I see. I'm afraid of the extra expense in labor and parts over rebuilding a belt system.
Is this, they're gonna not have a box on it, it'll just have the sprayer?
No, it'll have a box. It'll have a quick detach, take me 10 minutes to pull the sprayer out. And if we want to use it for hauling dirt or post or fence signs or anything else for road and bridge or myself, prairie dog bait, etc., it'll have that capability.
Yeah. So to me, if you bought the sprayer, well, you're saying you'd have to go up and get it from them.
No. With Superior Industries, that is all put together and delivered. On the ground, ready to use.
And you're thinking you're gonna get more acres because you're gonna have a 60-gallon sprayer.
Well, I'm hoping. Because on the two ATVs, I have a 25-gallon pack, and I have them calibrated. I can get almost 1 acre, just right at 1 acre out of them. So then you get a quarter mile, half mile away from the pickup. It's constant return to refill and refill.
So what size is the boom on this sprayer?
It will spray a capacity of 32 feet wide swath.
So you're gonna, it won't be a boom, it's gonna be those.
Well, I have a boom behind the machine, and then I have boom busters. That's the control mechanisms. I can raise it, lower it, shoot one side, the other, or the middle, so I can customize where I'm spraying instead of just a complete coverage the whole time.
But you're not gonna have a boom just sticking out.
No. No, there's no way you can have that going down in the trees and the river and the creeks. You can't have that.
I had booms, and within 3 days I had them tore off.
And then also on this kit, spray system setup, he has it down for a 10-foot hose, but I'm going to add a little longer hose so I can then get off the machine and just walk out under the trees and in the tree piles and get closer and hand spray.
Well, they got the cheapest bid on the, and Yamaha has a good spray, they're a good rig
So you kind of in favor?
with the Superior.
All right. Well, we probably need to move on, gentlemen. Do I hear a motion to go ahead and accept the bid from Superior Industries,
I'll make a motion to accept the bid from Superior Industries.
Second.
Navigator.
and that bid is $18,125, and that's complete and delivered. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed, same sign. So
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
let's get it on the road and
Yep.
get it working.
Next item I have up, still, this is part of the NWLAPG. Yes, they charge the counties. We're still trying to continue on with this water testing, so every county can have water testing. We found ourselves short again, trying to get some equipment upgraded, and we've talked about writing a grant to the Dane G. Hansen for about $10,000. Most of it is already written. We're trying to get an identifying number to be qualified for this grant. Thomas County has provided it the 2 times prior, and they're looking for somebody else to do so. I'm checking with the KDHE, but I have not got a response back from them. And I would like to know if you would be willing to allow me to use Cheyenne County's identifier, and I will take responsibility of the grant.
That would be all right. So you would complete the grant and submit it, and what are we paying, 3%? Yeah.
I want no reimbursement from this. This is going to help our county, women and children, to check for nitrates, bacteria.
Yeah.
I just prefer to help the county and the NWLAPG by using our identifier,
Yeah.
if you would allow it.
I see no downside to that.
I don't either.
Go ahead.
Thank you. And that now brings me to the prairie dogs.
Okay.
Prairie dog season's about to start. I do have quite a list of anonymous complaints, and I will be sending warning letters out and working with Leslie on that. But my analysis is we're a little early. The grass is green, people still have cattle out, producers are trying to get everything they can out of what they can. And so I would like to wait yet before we actually send any warning letters or push for that at this time. I do have an ongoing prairie dog complaint problem that has a lot of financial setbacks added, I'm going to say. The gentleman that has complained about this is very upset. He pretty much demanded the county goes in, handles the situation at whatever cost that may be, either bills this individual or puts it on the tax roll. I did remind this gentleman that all enforcements of any nature will be brought before this board and approved by you guys. On this property, we're talking 235 acres, heavily infested, $40 plus an acre to do the work. I'm guesstimating anywhere between $12,000 to $14,000 to handle this situation. And that's a lot of a burden to put on people.
Yeah.
Well, and the rest of the story is that this property is in mortgage foreclosure. They have now filed for bankruptcy. So there are all of these protections in regards to this property, whereby, you know, the proper procedure to go through to get this situation taken care of due to the entities that are involved, more particularly the district courts and the bankruptcy courts. Because what you're doing is if the county comes in and they do this work.
You may never be reimbursed.
Exactly. So we're trying to sort through it, which as DJ has indicated, it is too early to get out there because the last thing we want to do is jeopardize any livestock by going out there and baiting prairie dogs at this time. So, you know, we've got a little time to keep looking into this, but DJ wanted to let the commissioners know, okay, here's what we got. This is the cost that we're looking at. And with all of the entities that are involved, this is not a matter of just going out there and doing, you know, giving the notice, doing the work, assessing it to the tax roll, because this is incurring future debt or further debt when you've got a suggestion of bankruptcy.
And the complainant Is he aware of all this too, that, hey, we've got these kind of roadblocks?
Yes, yeah, I did not give full disclosure on that.
Right,
I tried,
but-
no, but I told him, yes, there is a bankruptcy and a hold, and we're trying to reasonably come up with a way to settle it with the proper entity that will take responsibility for this.
I don't think we can do much more than that right now.
Exactly, because, I mean, since they filed bankruptcy, that puts the mortgage foreclosure case on hold
Yeah.
until they can figure out what they're doing in the bankruptcy court. But it's still a secured lien on that real estate, so there's got to be some sort of reorganization and payment plan and.
It
or
just takes
bankruptcy
time to
plan.
do that.
Right, and it does take time, but like I said, I don't want to be jumping out there and incurring this debt and assessing it to this property, and then the bankruptcy court's coming in and saying, ha ha, you didn't do this right.
Yeah. I think we're on the right road here. It's not that we're trying to put him off, but we have legitimate reasons not to be aggressively pursuing it at this time.
Well, and Dave's going to be coming in on this same property owner on another issue. So,
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, and I know I need to, be an authority and handle the situation properly, but I'm not here to incur the county of debt or other people of debt
Well-
that cannot be assessed.
Yeah.
I can't handle that loss
well,
right
the
now.
rest of the story is that DJ tried to address this last year. They were served with the notice, and we even sent the notice to the bank that was foreclosing, and no one wanted any part of it.
Well, again, I think we're doing our part. We're doing the best we can, and we'll just have to see how it shakes out.
Appreciate it. If there's anything else, I'll keep in contact with Leslie, and if anything really changes, we'll bring it back upon you.
Okay. Sounds good.
That's all I have. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thanks,
Ladies,
DJ.
good day.
Thank you.
Good morning, Brian.
Howdy.
I'm glad to see you for some reason.
Well, I don't bring you bad news.
That's that boy.
Here's
Okay.
should be able to get through it pretty quickly, I hope. Unless you guys have too many questions.
Thank you.
All right. So we are, do have the audit substantially complete anyway, and gonna present a draft of the audit report to you today. I guess the biggest out of the ordinary thing, of course, with 2018 was the Public Building Commission in that project, and what we ended up doing, just so everybody's aware, is with the Public Building Commission, it is considered a related municipal entity of the county, meaning that the county has some level of control over it and that type of thing. So with those, you have the option to either include them in the county's audit as a related municipal entity, which going forward is what we'll do, because that is by far the most cost-effective way of doing it. But for 2018, we split it out and actually did a separate financial statement audit and federal compliance audit for the Public Building Commission. And the reason we chose to go that route was essentially to be as cost-effective as we could be. The main factor was with those federal compliance audits, they are triggered once your federal expenditures or expenditure of federal monies goes over $750,000. So once you're in that above that threshold, then all the federal awards have to be included in the audit. So if we included it in the county, we're going to have to also include the airport grants and any other grants that the county got, which would have made significantly more work. So by splitting it out, we saved quite a bit of time on that end. So that's just long and short of why we did it the way we did it. So I guess we can get into it real quick here. Then if you guys have any questions, just holler as I'm going through, or else at the end's fine too. So on page 1, a couple pages in there, page 1 and 2 is the actual opinion on the financial statements. It is a clean opinion in accordance with the Kansas Municipal Audit and Accounting Guide, which is the rules that the county follows for accounting and auditing. We didn't really note any significant issues either as far as controls or anything like that. You know, like always, had some minor stuff we discussed with the different departments and stuff that could possibly be cleaned up, but nothing significant enough to really present to you.
Good.
Yeah. And then on page 3 and 4 is actually the summary financial statement of the county. This includes all the funds the county had as of the end of 2018. On the left side is the fund name, then beginning cash balance, the total receipts, expenditures, and ending cash balance as you work across the page. Probably about the biggest change year to year on this was that Home for the Aged, the multi-year capital improvement fund. For 2018, we classified that as a capital project fund due to the project and there being construction costs being paid out of that. So next year that would get switched back to a special purpose fund. But other than that, everything I think is pretty similar to what it has been. There on page 4 is actually the total cash the county had as of the end of 2018, including the landfill trust fund and the airport board was $6,660,390. And on page 5 is just the breakdown of what where the cash was, what bank, and the type of account at the bank.
Brian, can I ask
Yeah.
a question?
Yeah.
Going back to page 3.
Yeah.
On the Home for the Aged multiple year capital improvement fund, what is the intent behind that specific fund when we have the PVC Home for the Aged up here? Is that the equivalent of?
The multi-year capital improvement was the one that was set up to, I guess the majority of the money that went in there anyway, I think,